Karl, the transfer window is soon to close and Charlton have been linked with a number of strikers. Are you close to getting one over the line?
No.
That's it, is it?
Yeah, no, we're not at the moment, no.
But you've been prudent in the summer with not spending too much money. Does that mean that you've got a bit saved up for possibly spending more on a striker than you might have done?
Listen, for me right now, it's about what the players doing in the building.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another Charlton Athletic video. Now today I am going to sort of just quickly reacting to the comments that Karl Robinson has made in his press conference ahead of Saturday's game at home to Northampton today. So he was asked, obviously, he was kind of grilled about the striker situation and are we going to get a striker in now Tony Watt's moved on? Are the funds there? Especially considering he already came out last week and said, yeah, we are looking for a striker, but we were sort of priced out of some and whatever else. But it's been a clear narrative by Robinson and by Charlton, essentially, that we are looking to bring in a striker, as well as before he said a winger and the little goalkeeper manoeuvre that he's going to do in getting Dylan out and bringing a more experienced keeper in. And Dylan out on loan, by the way. But basically, he was asked today whether we are any closer to bringing a striker in and whether we've got one plan to bring them in before Saturday. And he essentially said no, like we're no closer. It was pretty black and white. He said no. Of course, that then led to further follow-up questions about, you know, are there funds there to do so? He kind of swayed the question and he kept replying and saying things like, oh, you know, we've got to focus on the group that we've got. My job is to do this. What's in my control and stuff. Well, I'm just a little bit annoyed. I'm going to have to say, just at the beginning of this video, as a little disclaimer, it's a little bit of a moan today. I mean, before everyone starts calling me a proper moaner, yes, I am going to be at the Valley most games this season. Yes, I do think we've got a better squad. And no, I'm not going to, you know, if we lose a couple of games in a row, I'm not going to think, oh, we're getting relegated, doom and gloom and all that. However, what I will say is on the screen now, we have a list of all the players that we've brought in. Now, as you can see, as well as 2 loans, they are pretty much free transfers, all of them. Our outgoings as well were pretty hefty, expensive players, such as Ceballos and Texera on the sort of wages. I imagine we got a little fee for Watt. I don't know how much that was. Probably not nowhere near as much as we paid for him, but there was a little fee involved there, I would imagine, as well as some of those other players there, and including some of the players off of our wage books potentially who have gone out on loan as well. So where is the investment this season? It's probably evens in terms of who we've brought in, mostly free transfers. Obviously, you have to appreciate their potentially wages that we've got to pay for. But I think only Fosu was a tribunal or like a compensation fee that we paid. Everyone else was an out-of-contract sort of free player. Clark, Marshall, Reeves, all free players. So where is the investment this season? What he's said is that we won't be spending £1 million on a striker. But really, that's all that can be expected of us. You know, how are we going to get a good striker if we're not going to be able to spend any more than like 300k? I just find it a little bit bizarre that we've done all this good work and we have been very astute in the transfer market. We've brought in good players, but where's that little final stretch to bring in a striker now? That's not to say that we won't do anything in 2 weeks, but judging by his comments and judging by him ruling out completely that we're going to bring in a, you know, £1 million striker or whatever, I'm expecting some sort of unproven loan, a bit of a risk, or maybe just like a Cameron Stewart or someone on the cheap, you know, who's got a little bit of a problem that brings his sort of market value down, a sort of cheap deal. So overall, I just feel really disappointed, a little bit let down by his comments today. And unfortunately, I don't think that we're going to be signing that big hitter striker. Akinde has been ruled out. And also Godden was ruled out a little while ago, and I don't think there have been any other real prolific names or, you know, those kind of names popping up. I wonder what everyone else thinks about this striker situation. It seems as though we were doing good things, making good movements all throughout the transfer window, and now this seems to have been completely shut down by Robinson, that we're going to make that final, it's so annoying because it's that final piece of the jigsaw that I think would really just seal the deal for us, that we would be a sort of promotion candidate, a top 6 team. And now that we're not going to get that, Karl Robinson's already talking, we're already in the season now, we had all summer and he's already talking about, he made a couple of little comments about his squad being too thin for the Norwich game, about his, it's obvious where we're short. He said he's got a wish list, whether he can do that he doesn't know, it's not in his power. But like I say, it looks like we've pretty much broke even this transfer window, despite rectifying some of the initial problems caused by the sort of regime and everything. and bringing in some good players on cheap deals. Not necessarily cheap deals, but on free transfers, whether their wages are cheap. I mean, they're probably cheaper than some of the players we already had, but it was very, very cute business, and we haven't really put out any money. Now, as I've always, I keep saying it, that money is obviously there. Goodmanson, Fox, Lookman, Harriet, etc., etc. This money is going somewhere, and it's not to us, it doesn't seem like. So the fact that £1 million, £1 million, that's probably like a single-digit percentage of what we have received in transfer fees in the last couple of seasons. The fact that we can't put that money out there doesn't sit well with me in terms of our transfer business. Now, in terms of the team and the season, I think we're doing very well. We've played well. We're looking promising. Whether we have the squad strength to go in for 46 games plus cup competitions and everything and put out a competitive side each game. And by the way, I think that we would be forgiven, or Robinson would be forgiven, for maybe not even signing a winger. I think it's just a striker now what's gone. Just because, you know, we've got Charles Cook, who's played a couple of games or has played a game and scored a goal. Hearn Grant's clearly in his plans. And we don't mind a little bit of youth, but when you're overly reliant, we've seen it time and time again, it catches up on you and you end up finishing mid-table in League One. So that's just a little bit of a, I suppose, rant that I wanted to have today. Make sure you leave your comments and your opinions down below. I don't mean to be a negative Nelly. I always want to be a positive Pete, but this particular press conference today just didn't sit quite right with me. So yeah, make sure you leave your comments down below. Make sure you leave a like. I think we're nearly at 850 subscribers now, which is really sick. So make sure you subscribe as well. And other than that, thank you very much for watching. Click on this little video. The Charlton videos are always doing really, really well. The FIFA videos need a little bit more love. If you are interested in this Newcastle rebuild, this FIFA video, please do make sure you click on it. And other than that, thank you very much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you next time with another video. Sweet.